Good morning, Mom and everyone. My topic is all about typical and atypical development. As children grow, there are different ways that they need to develop. The different childhood developmental stages help to track a child's progress. The child will need to develop cognitive, language, physical, and social skills. From the moment a baby is born to the time they go off to college, they go through different developmental stages. These skills usually develop predictably and are known as developmental milestones. However, every children develops at their own pace. It can be typical or atypical children because each children have their own strengths and weaknesses. So I will discuss typical and atypical development of children with my PowerPoint. So typical and atypical development. Typical development. Children tend to acquire the skills in an orderly fashion and within certain age brackets. This pattern of skill acquisition is often referred to as normal or typical development and is used to monitor a child's developmental progress. So in typical development, children gather information from people, things, and events in their environment. They organize this information in their minds and code it in ways that keep it usable and easily understood. They match the information with what they've learned before, noticing similarities and differences, and store the information for future use. Once this process is complete, children behave in ways that suggest that learning has taken place. On the other hand, atypical development is when development doesn't follow the normal course. It could include things like learning and social disabilities and disorders. So in this case, some children exhibit behaviors that fall outside of the normal or expected range of development. These behaviors emerge in a way or at a pace that is different from their peers. So let's proceed to child development. Child development can be defined as the process by which a child changes over time. It covers the whole period from conception to an individual becoming a fully functioning adult. It's a journey from total dependence to full independence. So let's proceed to the child's development. First is the physical development. 5 to 10% of children fail to develop as expected. Physical development can be hampered by environmental or medical conditions. Parents can track the development of gross and fine motor skills to determine the physical progress of their children. Next is social development, which is the ability to communicate well with others as well as getting involved in the interactive play are part of healthy social development. Identifying atypical social development in your child will help you to get appropriate help early enough. Another is cognitive development. Understanding how your child compares to other children of the same age when it comes to mental ability is important. This information can help you to identify any special needs that your child may have. Cognitive skills in a school-going child can be measured using the school's FIND program. Also, language development. The development of language is essential for a child to interact and communicate with others. From birth, the newborn starts to make sounds like crying. This develops over the first few months of life as the throat matures physically and sounds become more refined. Next is emotional development. The ability for a child to understand who they are develops gradually. Many 5-year-olds define themselves based on how they look or what skills they have. By 8 years, a child has developed a global sense of worth and may feel inferior if the goals they set themselves aren't reached. And next is gender and sexual identity. Parents and the wider culture shape gender choices in subtle ways when they give different toys to boys and girls, paint a child's room blue or pink, or in how they behave with a child, such as in rough play with boys but not with girls. In addition, children learn from others through the role modeling of what is appropriate behavior for each gender. Child development is very important for it sets the foundation for lifelong learning, behavior, and health. The experiences children have in early childhood shape the brain and the child's capacity to learn, to get along with others, and to respond to daily stresses and challenges. So my apology if I discuss my report fastly because I am only given 4 minutes to discuss all of them. So if you have questions, just comment down below. Thank you.